Well, it seems that we could be without Colombian winger Oscar Cortes for at least 2 months, so say reports in the media. Cortez, who signed on loan from Lens, has been an exciting addition to the Rangers squad, and certainly in the games that he's played up until he was injured against Kilmarnock, has been a fantastic addition to Glasgow Rangers. He really has shown some quality, some skill, some direct play, and scored some goals as well. You know, he looks a quality player. But the fact that it seems that, again, he has been hit by the Rangers injury curse is just pure bad luck and bad news. That left side does seem to be cursed of Matondo, Sima, and now Cortez out. Cortez has made 6 appearances in the Scottish Premier League this year, scoring 1 goal and having 1 assist for our mighty Gers. When he was injured against Kilmarnock and went off, people said it was a hamstring, etc., etc. It now appears to be a posterior problem, which is something to do with your backside, apparently. I suppose you could say that Cortez has got a pain in the arse. We all hate having a pain in the arse, don't we? You know, well, some of us do. Anyway, Cortez apparently, though, has taken his first step on his road to recovery. He's had to have surgery on his muscle issue. This, of course, indicates that the problem was a lot more serious than was at first thought. Any time you have to have surgery on something, on surgery to correct an issue, it does appear that obviously that problem is probably more serious than obviously that you would have hoped it would be. Clement did reveal in his press conference that it was a serious injury that would require surgery, and no exact timescale has been put on Oscar's return to action. There was even fears, I think, being reported that Cortez may have played his final game for Rangers this season, which would, of course, kind of beg the question, then what happens with that option to buy at the end of the season? We'll come to that very shortly. It'll be sad, obviously, if Cortez does not play again this season, given, obviously, the fact we are now in March. A couple of months out would mean March and April, the possible return in May. But, you know, like I've said on a number of occasions, it takes time to get your match fitness back. Philippe Clement has shown his unwillingness to throw players straight back into the mixer. So, look, it is what it is in terms of Cortez and his injury. You know, if he is he's out until May, then, you know, we're probably going to see very little of him on the running towards the end of the season. And certainly we have to hope that Rabbi Matondo and Abdallah Sima can return from injury sooner rather than later, given the paucity of options we have in wide positions. Although apparently Ross McCausland was seen training this morning when Sky were covering Rangers training sessions ahead of their Europa League game against Benfica on Thursday. Look, he is staying around for the fight. Apparently, all his rehab work will be done under the direction of Rangers medical staff. He will not be returning to Lens for rehabilitation. He is staying here in Glasgow so that we can keep an eye on his road to recovery and manage the recovery process, which some of you may think is a bad thing. You never know with Rangers medical staff. What is the situation? How many players do we know that are out for a couple of weeks, and a couple of weeks then turns into a couple of months or even longer? But Cortez did publish on his Instagram story, he said it was a picture of him in a hospital bed, and he said everything was a success. Thank God, we'll be back soon. Now, obviously, no time scale there from Cortez, no time scale from the club. There are ongoing talks between Rangers and Lens over the situation, obviously, as he is still technically Lens player, even though he's on loan with an option to buy at Rangers. Lens will, as his parent club, be wanting to be kept up to date with what is going on with their player, especially if the injury is obviously very serious. Again, the club are playing their cards very close to their chest as to the seriousness and the length of time on this recovery. In a recent interview, Philippe Clement said Oscar has a serious injury, so he will be a longer time out. It's a really strange one with the action that he did have to a severe injury like that, but we need to know and look at it in the next few weeks with what to do. Also, we are in contact with Lens because we are not the only ones who decide about that. So that is a blow. It's a blow for us, for the team, and for him. It's frustrating. You just want to build with him. And I think that was obviously the indication that we wanted to bring him in, wanted to see what we had in Oscar Cortes and what a quality addition he could be. And now, certainly in the limited number of games that he has played, those 6 games, that he has played for the club, he's looked a quality addition. Now, it's thought that the option to buy is priced at around £3.5 million. Many people saying that there could even be a situation where the Cortez signing is to offset the fact that we probably won't be able to afford Abdallah Sima in the summer, who will be priced at over £7 million. So what is the situation with the whole with the whole Cortez thing, it's just, to me, seems to be, again, where we're looking at these players coming in, we're looking at the players being out injured, we're looking at, again, a long term on the sidelines. It's just very unlucky. The club really do appear to be hit by that injury bug and that injury curse. Now, what do we do going forward? Is this going to affect our desire to sign Cortez if we can't see anything more of him? If this is it, we see a 6-game sample. Is that enough to make a judgment on the player? Now, personally, if you are going off a 6-game sample for the player, he looks a very good player. He looks a very talented player. And the fact that he's obviously only very young as well shows that he has development. He does fit that trading model. Niels Koppen and his scouting team obviously saw something in Oscar Cortes when they agreed to this loan with an option to buy. So, look, it is very much open to debate again whether you want to sign this player. And some people may say, oh, great, it's Rangers again signing injured players. But this injury, I don't think, was anything of his fault. It's not down to a weakness there, as it has been with other players like Kieran Dowell, who obviously has a knee weakness there, and that's a lot of his injuries are in and around his knee. So Cortez, for me, is still a very much a viable option to purchase in the summer, even on a limited sample size. He looks a very talented player. He looks a skillful player. He certainly seems to be someone I would actually rate as a real future asset for this club, and someone who, in the long-term future, could be flipped for a high price and high value. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. But it does appear that he will be missing until at least the end of April, start of May, which is obviously bad news for our club. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. As always, please smash that sub and help the channel to keep on growing as we move towards 5,500 subscribers and then obviously 6,000 subscribers. If you want to find us on social media, all the places that you can find us are currently scrolling along the bottom of the screen. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we are on TikTok. Yes, apparently that's the place to be, so my daughters tell me. We are in a number of different locations, so please obviously check us out. You can also email the pod as well, glasgowrangersnation@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, on the way out, there's 2 things I always ask of you. Number 1 is to smash the like, and number 2 is to remember always, we are the people.